Hi guys, today I wanted to share a video with you that I did in collaboration with Kevin Haggarthy for Motoroverload, and in that we looked at the best used cars to get for under £10,000, and we looked at three categories. That was small cars, family cars, and considering that we're having a sunny summer this year, roadsters. And so we each selected our choices and then we chose an overall winner. See what you think of it. Before you get into that, make sure you're subscribing to youtube.com/brown car guy, and of course follow me on all social media channels. Just search for hashtag brown car guy. You can see it on my hat there. That's on Twitter, Instagram, and of course Facebook. Meanwhile, whilst you're at it, subscribe to browncarguy.com, which you can see on my screen behind me. Cool. Let me know what you think of our choices. Oh, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to all the Motoroverload channels as well.
Hello and welcome again to Motoroverload. This time around we're going to be looking at cars to buy on a budget. So we've got £10,000 and we're going to find the best we can get for our money.
You know, that makes a lot of sense because right now people are starting to emerge from this lockdown that we've been under, and they're starting to think about buying cars. And I think the used car market is really going to enjoy a little bit of a boom now. But what do you think the three categories should be that we should specifically look at?
I think we should keep it simple, Shahzad. Let's just do small cars, family cars, and roadsters.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. And I think for small cars, I think you've got to go for the obvious choice. It is Britain's best-selling car. It's the Ford Fiesta. For the budget of 10k, that's a generous budget for a small car. So for that, you'll get the current generation car, which is the 7th generation Ford Fiesta. It of course comes with a huge variety of choices. You got 3-door, you got 5-door, you got a whole load of engines. It's a practical, sensible, fun little car, really enjoyable to drive. Point to bear in mind that if you're carrying regularly over 6 footers in the back of the car, you may need to look for something larger, but for most people it'll be fine. If you're looking for more performance oriented stuff, you can look at the 140 brake horsepower ST line. That's still within the budget. If you really want to go for the sporty ST, then you can go for the previous generation. That will come within the £10,000 ceiling. But if you can scrimp and save a little bit more, say another £1,500 for £11,500, you can actually get into the current generation ST, which is one of the best pocket rockets out there.
I have to say, I actually agree with you on all of those counts. I can't disagree. The Ford Fiesta has just everything for everybody. I'm going to be just a little bit more not as sensible as you, and I'm going to go for the Mini Cooper S. In fact, I'm actually going to go for the R53. Because that was the very first of BMW's take on the Mini, especially the sporting version with the Cooper S. And quite frankly, you can get something like that from about £1,500 to say £3,000. And never can you find more fun in one little package. It's small, it's exciting, it's got fantastic direct light steering, a great chassis, and buying one about now, if you buy well, it'll be fairly reliable and really great fun. So I'm going to be slightly less objective and say, go for a Mini Cooper S.
You know what? I can't disagree with you on that one. I mean, I would be tempted by that as well. But let's move to family vehicles. What do you reckon to those?
My choice, I've got to admit it, is just all primarily around driving fun. And together with practicality, if we're looking at the saloon category or family car, I'd have to go for the Golf R32, the Mark 5. Because I just think that's a fantastic vehicle. A bit like you were talking about the Fiesta, I would say that the R32 has got everything. It's got practicality, comfort, it's got that German build quality, it's got a 3.2 V6 engine, an exhaust note to die for, and four-wheel drive. I just absolutely love that car. And to think that you can get that car now for about £5,000 is an absolute jewel. So how about you in the family saloon category? Anything that exciting?
Listen, mate, I said family car, not street race. So what is this, Fast and the Furious? I mean, I get the whole Volkswagen Golf thing, but the R32, I mean, that's a heck of a car. But Family? I mean, come on. Families need to be in an SUV. That's what family cars are now. And I think a really good choice within our budget, and let's say 5 to 10K is the budget, you can get a Kia Sportage. Most likely you'll get the previous gen version, which ran from 2010 to 2015. But you know what? It's a really good looking car. That's when Kia really got their act together in terms of their styling. So it's a really sharp suited car. You can just about get the newer car, the 2016, 2017 models for that money, but you'll have to search a lot harder. But having said that, that generation Kia, which I think was the third generation Kia, practical, comfortable, plenty of space. It's won lots of awards. It's been highly acclaimed in reliability surveys, and it got good rating on JD Power as well. That to me is a really good family all-rounder. It makes, I have to say, a lot more sense than your R32 Golf, although that is a tasty piece of kit. Let's move on though. When we're talking about tasty piece of kit, we're talking about driving fun. Let's move on to our final category, which of course is roadsters or convertibles, because the summer is now here. You want to get the roof down and you want to enjoy it. And a lot of people are going to be driving up and down the country. You can't fly anywhere. So what would be your top choice when it comes to a convertible or a roadster?
I think that choice is an obvious one. It's got to be the best-selling sports car in the world, and that's the Mazda Mx-5. In fact, I'd be quite specific and go for the Mark III, because that had like a decade run, and it's probably the best of all. I don't think they're all good, and the Mark III isn't necessarily the best. In fact, the handling of the Mark III is probably not even as good as the Mark II. But the thing is, if you've got £800 up to £10,000, there's always an MX-5 for you. They are fantastic fun. They're really engaging, terribly reliable. And they are what I would call an every person's car. Everybody can own one. You can even take them racing, as I've done. And I love them. So to me, that is the obvious choice, Shahzad.
No. That's a noddy car, man. I can barely even fit into one of those. That's a toy. I'm talking a proper roadster. Something with a little bit of oomph, And you'll be surprised that you can actually get these for within our budget. But I'm going to say the Honda S2000. Now, you remember this thing came out in around 2000. It was Honda's 50th birthday present to itself. So they put all of their engineering expertise into this car. It's got an engine with about 240 horsepower. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it really goes, when you rev it, right up to its limiter at 9,000 RPM. This thing is an absolute hook. It's a bit lively. It's a very sharp car, but I would recommend the 2004 onwards version because they softened it up. And you're thinking, you really want a soft convertible? Believe me, I say softened, but it was still sharp. It was just a little bit safer. 2006, they even introduced optional traction control. The only thing you got to look out for on these is they use oil. So they really like to drink oil. They need regular oil changes, and they need to be topped up. So if you start it up and you hear a knocking from the engine, walk away. I mean, there are 18 that I found currently available, so there are a few out there. The other good thing about this car is that they're only going to go up in value. I mean, this is definitely a future classic. So to me, that would be the one to get. It's fun, it's reliable, it's a Honda, it's got a great driving position, it's a fun car to drive, and you know what? It's an investment as well. What could be better?
Well, I can't really disagree with you on that either, because I love that car and I was just eulogizing about it as you were talking about it. The only thing I would say is that if you want 100% fun, then you're going to get it in the MX-5, because with the S2000, it's only when you get right up there within the red bands that you sort of get all that excitement that everybody loves the Honda S2000 for. So yes, but let's face it, there is one car out of all of them which we have agreed on being the choice buy under £10,000. Do you want to announce it?
Okay, yeah, I think we can agree. It can't be the MX-5. I just don't fit in it. It can't be the R32 because I think that's too hardcore to be a family car. But when it comes to the Mini, yeah, I've got to concede. I think that's a really good choice. In fact, I know you have one, and I certainly would have one as well. So yeah, it's got to be the Mini, hasn't it?
There's an R53 outside there in the driveway with all the fog lamps on it, proper Italian job style. And to be honest, it's one of those cars which, quite frankly, I'd love to buy no matter what it costs because it's so much fun. So at least we agree on one thing. I do like your choices, I have to admit. The S2000, amazing. But at least we agree that for £10,000, the best fun is sitting in my driveway.
So there you go, guys. Those are our top 3 choices, actually top 6 choices if you like, for that budget. Plenty of great used cars out there right now. A lot of activity going on. So get out there, look for cars, bargain hard. I reckon prices are going to dip off after a couple of weeks. So tell us what you think. Tell us your choices. And if you bought one of these cars, let us know. Meanwhile, don't forget to follow us. We are on motoroverload.com. And of course, subscribe to this channel. Search for us also on Twitter and Instagram. Just search for Motor Overload. We will put all the links below. Make sure you hit those subscribe and follow buttons. And of course, we will catch you again very soon right here.
We certainly will. And if you own any of the cars we've talked about, do let us know, and we'll talk about them on one of our future Motor Overloads. Take care now.
So, what did you think of our choices? Would the Mini be your overall choice as well? Anyway, if you like that video, then you've got a lot of things to do. Make sure you subscribe to the Motor Overload YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the description below. Also, of course, motoroverload.com, and look for Motor Overload on Facebook and on Instagram. Meantime, of course, subscribe to youtube.com/browncarguy, and of course, follow me on all social media. Just search for #browncarguy on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, and whilst you're at it, subscribe to browncarguy.com. If you enjoyed this video and my other videos, then maybe you can support me, and you can do that by going to patreon.com/Shahzad Sheikh, and there you'll also find an opportunity to get some goodies and some exclusive content that hopefully you'll enjoy. If not, please continue to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the rest of it. That really helps, and I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you again soon in the next video.